2023, El Rufai says presidency should go to South after Buhari. The governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has insisted that the North has no jurisdiction to remain in power after the expiration of President Muhammadu Buhari's second tenure. El-Rufai maintained that the presidency should rightly return to the southern part of Nigeria. He said, though the constitution of the All Progressive Congress (APC) does not make provision for rotation, but in the interest of justice, equity, and fair play, presidency should go to other regions of the country. Vanguard quoted him as saying, "The general political consensus in Nigeria is that the presidency should rotate between the north and the south. It is not written, but everyone understands it. In some of the parties, like the PDP, it is even written down in their constitution, but it was breached in 2015. I think that every politician of honor should understand and abide by the consensus, except there is an extenuating circumstance compelling it to be set aside. What could this be?" President Yar'Adua died in office, and it was compulsory for Jonathan to continue. But when 2011 election came, there were many people who insisted that Jonathan should step aside for a northerner to complete the tenure of Yar'Adua. But I opposed it because I didn't think it was proper for an incumbent that got there not by his own design should be stopped from contesting when the constitution has not barred him from doing so. In the APC, we deliberately omitted rotational presidency in our constitution, and the emergence of a presidential candidate does not take into account zoning, and that was why in 2015 Rochas Okorocha from the east contested Sam Nda Isaiah contested, Buhari, Kwankwaso, and others contested. El-Rufai, a chieftain of APC, added that the presidential candidates are chosen on the basis of merit and general acceptance. I can say that as distinct from the PDP, APC has no rotational presidency, but candidates are selected strictly on the basis of political merit and the general acceptability of the candidates. I want to say that those of us from northern Nigeria honor agreements. We do not violate unwritten political agreements, and I will not be the last person to lead in violating that agreement. I may have a personal view, but that should be the basis. I didn't care where you come from, but I look for merit. But as a group, the Northern APC will have to sit down and endorse someone, most likely someone from the South, because after 8 years of Buhari, I don't think the presidency should remain in the North unless there is some extenuating circumstances. But all things being equal, we will honor our agreement and will keep our words, he said. So people, this is what El-Rufai is coming out to say this morning. And to be honest, he said the truth. To be honest, he said the truth. In Nigeria, we still put party politics ahead of merits and ahead of the country. And that's the difference between Nigeria and other advanced countries. Although we've got PDP, we've got APC, which are the two main parties in Nigeria. But in spite of that, when it comes to politics, when it comes to the country, when it comes to the good of the country, you put party politics aside to deal with the main issues of the country. For example, when Britain had, when the whole Brexit wanted to happen, they had in Britain they have two main parties. They have the Labour and the Conservative. The conservative, they were in power, but at some point, they had to keep party politics aside to be sure of the laws that they have to adhere to make for the exit of Brexit. And they got it indeed. You see, so, but in Nigeria, that's not the case. We rather play party politics than the good of the country. And however it is, whether the party has got the right candidate, whether the party has got the merits to govern the country as at then, they don't care. We don't care. All we do is he from APC or is he from PDP? Or who wins at the end of the day? It's a power tussle between the two parties, and we uplift more of party politics than the concerns of the country. You see, so but here Rufai has come up to say, Rufai, the Kaduna State governor, has come out to say, you know what? We respect written agreements. In Nigeria, we have zoning, we have it must be this zone, it must be that zone. Okay, but he said from his own point of view that there is no reason for Buhari, for the government, the presidency in 2023 to come from the north again, and which is very correct. There is no reason for it to come because obviously 8 years of rule of Buhari, we have seen it all. And they wanted to fight change. We were clamoring for change in the first inception of Buhari, and within the 4 years we didn't see anything. The country became harder and harder, to be honest, and nothing really happened. No, I can't see any significant change. I can't see any significant change happening. Maybe they always say all the changes are underneath. But we didn't really see much of the change, most of the changes as campaigned for. So. Yes, it's a good thing that Rufai has said. Let the North calm down a little bit for other people to try. For other capable hands to try. And in 2023, I think we need to pipe down a little bit on party politics and look really for the good of the country, of how to move the country forward. It might not be one of them two parties that would emerge as the winner of the election, but you see, let us give the capable, the credible candidates a chance to change Nigeria, to make sure that Nigeria moves from one level to the other. We are still a third world war country, which is unbelievable. As the giant of Africa, still a third world war country. We need, because the first thing that has to change is our laws, our rules, our presidency. It has to come from there, So I believe Rufai is seeing it in a holistic view. He's seeing it in the larger picture that this governance needs to move even from the north. He's a northerner, but he says, you know what, the government, there is no reason whatsoever for Buhari, for another northerner to come into power again, because in the last few years of northerner ruling, we've never really seen much changes. You see, so let us give it to another part of the country to see whether they are able to pilot the country. So that's what Rufai has come to say, and I quite appreciate and kudos to him for at least being able to say this, to come out to express himself as a person, as a governor, to say this is what it ought to be, and we would honor the agreement. So that has been said. He said they would honor the agreement. He's a PDP chieftain. And I know they're having words, they are speaking, they're already talking about it, because 2023 is just not far away from here. You see, so let the parties begin to put themselves together. Let them get a credible candidate to as their flag bearers, and let us start looking at how to really make Nigeria great. So thank you, Rufai, for this one that you said this morning. This is really good, and thank you very much, my listeners. For those that haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, because we appreciate when you subscribe. We get more followers and more people listening and hearing what is going on in Nigeria. And for those that have subscribed, thank you very much. We do appreciate your subscription. And if you need to leave a comment, please do leave a comment. Leave your voice in the comment section. Thank you very much. Until we come your way again. Bye.